The Republican Party is now pushing for guns in kindergarten classes. The Colorado Republican Party wants to pass legislation that would not only allow guns in schools, including kindergarten classes, but it would allow concealed weapons in all schools, from elementary through college. So I guess this is turning the educational system, you know, the 3 R's, Lewis. This would be like the 4 R's, obviously: reading, writing, arithmetic, and rifles.
Interesting.
See, I think that would have been better if you laughed more. It would have appeared to be a funnier line.
It just wasn't that funny. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if Lewis paid more attention to the show, he would find it funnier. Dude, what's going on, guys, with Lewis these days?
I don't know. You should ask him. Lewis, what's going on?
I'm trying to read what's coming up on this piece of paper. It's very distracting.
Lewis, if you missed the beginning of the show, we had a complete internet outage today. I had to drive somewhere to print our scripts, and there's paper everywhere.
We are totally dependent on the internet.
Yeah, well, not today. Anyway, Lewis is clearly very distracted by the papers. So this is, I guess, a twisted response to the school massacres at Columbine and Virginia Tech, and it has led to the argument from some conservatives that we actually need more guns in schools to fight back against armed attacks. Now, of course, about a dozen state legislatures last year took up a variety of different measures that would allow guns on college campuses. Some even considered lifting these bans at K through 12 public schools. Florida stopped the discussion of this after the emotional testimony of a father whose daughter was killed at Florida State University when another student accidentally shot a rifle. This is not a good idea. The idea that the more guns we have in the system, the safer everybody's going to be from the lone gunman, it's not really a good argument. We can find anecdotal evidence where one person having had a gun may have created a situation that would have been better. I think what we need to look at also, as we saw with the Jared Loughner, Gabrielle Gifford situation, is, do you really need a clip that holds 30 rounds of ammunition, or is 10 enough for that type of weapon? Maybe the 10 is enough, and that would have forced Jared Loughner to have to reload, which is exactly when he was taken down.
Right, and the anecdotal evidence of a gun, someone having a gun in a certain situation, perhaps saving lives. I think if you put a gun in every classroom in the country, I think we'll end up having more anecdotal evidence that just that alone causes many more people to be killed or potentially just really bad situations.
I think you're right. And you know what? This is actually time for progressives to take back the language. We've talked about taking back the language on marriage equality as opposed to gay marriage. We've talked about taking back the language on women's rights as opposed to pro-abortion, which is a complete farce. This is another one of those examples. It's not gun rights. This is not about gun rights. This is about attempt to expand deadly weapons access and usage. It's not gun rights. Expanding deadly weapons access and usage. That, I think, is really much more akin to the reality.
Right. The individual is not gaining or losing any rights here.
No, absolutely
with regard to weapons.